expensive guitar make me play better?
Shh! Don't tell the guys who spent $3,500 on a Gibson Les Paul that, because those guys are just automatically awesome players and great songwriters, and in fact, they're total rock stars in their own minds. How's it going, everybody? It's Friday morning. Hope you are going to have an amazing weekend. As you can tell by the title of this video, we're going to have a few comments from the Gibson fanboys because I did a video on this on Monday morning. And as you could expect, quite a few of those guys who spent like 5 times the amount of money on a Gibson as opposed to one of these are a little upset with the theme of my video. Anyway, those are going to be a little bit further on down the line. This week's sponsor is Distrokid. Just want to give a shout out to them right now. We'll have a few more words on those guys in a minute as well. But as usual, this show is not about me. This is about you. So let's get your comments and questions right fucking now.
How dare you not play authentic? Shame on you. Everyone knows that USA-made guitars have the proper tone woods and right mojo. Unsubscribing. P.S. Cool finish.
Yeah, sorry to upset you there. You know, between the video I did there shooting out the 2 different types of wood, making absolutely no difference, and the video Jim Lil put up there about a week and a half ago, that's almost got 700,000 views. In other words, you're probably living under a rock if you haven't seen that one, where he built a guitar with no body and just stretched out the guitar strings across 2 tables. That was quite the eye-opener. Yes, I think we can say as far as electric guitars go, anyway, the tone wood argument is dead, and rightfully so. Spend your money elsewhere. And not only is the finish on this guitar amazing, the action on this thing is absolutely incredible. This guitar is actually an awful lot of fun to play because you can spend more time playing it than you are going to be tuning it.
What pedal amp cab are you using to get those sweet tones in this video clip?
Hey Morphine, of course you're referencing this guitar sound here. Okay, so signal chain there is the 10S single cut guitar into a Revv generator 120 Mark III, a little Maxon OD808, but the really important part of that signal chain was the custom 2x12 I had made by my very good friend Steve Jason, the guy who helped me build this studio here. He built me 3 identical cabs out of 3 different types of wood, and I'm going to be shooting that experiment tomorrow to see how that goes. Most importantly though, the speaker in that cabinet was a Celestion EVH speaker. It's basically a 20 watt greenback, and it sounds absolutely incredible. And the best thing about it, it's not a fucking vintage 30. In my own research that I've done on the show and been more than happy to share with you guys along the way, it really does come down to the speaker and the cabinet. And in this case, the Celestion EVH just sounds absolutely amazing. I've never thrown a mic up in front of it that I didn't love. So for all you guys who are bored with the vintage 30 sound, you might want to start taking a look at the EVH speakers from Celestion. They're absolutely amazing.
Technically, Bit's a corrugated box, not cardboard.
And the winner of Smartest Guy of the Week comment goes to Ace XXX Oasis. Congratulations, Ace. You tried to be the smartest guy of the week, but you failed miserably because technically Bit's a corrugated box, not cardboard. Really doesn't make that much sense. I think you're trying to say it technically it's, but I could be wrong. Maybe check your spelling before you hit that send button. That way we might actually know what the fuck you're trying to say, dude. Now, for all you guys who are wondering what the fuck I'm talking about, I think we're going to do a spot on the show occasionally, not every week, just whenever it comes up, when somebody tries to come off sounding like the smart guy and fails as miserably as Ace XXX Oasis does. He's going to get the Smartest Guy of the Week award. Congratulations, Ace XXX Oasis. You are the Spectre Sound Smartest Guy of the Week. The rest of you guys out there, let that serve as a warning. Hey everybody, this episode of Spectre Sound Studios has been sponsored by Distrokid, my favorite online music distribution service, and I've been using it problem-free since 2015. It's the one-stop shop to get your music online to all the major streaming sites like Apple Music, Amazon, Google Play, Spotify, plus over 150 smaller online music retailers as well. It costs a whopping $20 a year, but you get to keep 100% of your earnings. Distrokid also has lots of cool features, like getting your project more followers on Spotify with the new Hyperflow, or change your image on Apple Music and iTunes, plus adding credits and liner notes to stores and streaming services. You can now list musicians, contact info, social media profiles, and hundreds of other roles. There's also the synced lyrics feature, so you can have the lyrics play along to your Instagram and Apple Music posts. And this is especially great if your singer loves to cup drop the mic and nobody can understand him. What's more, the new splits function works great for those long distance collaborations that everybody is doing these days. Splits allows you to pay your collaborators automatically by percentage so you can concentrate on making music instead of learning how to be an accountant. You can change the splits plus add or remove collaborators at any time, and collaborators get a 50% discount on their Distrokid account. Now, for all you drummers out there, that's only $10. There's 3 levels of plans available: Musician, Musician Plus, and one even for labels. I use Distrokid to put my music online, including this channel's theme song, The Eagle Has Landed, and even got a license through Distrokid for the cover of Moon on the Water that we did a number of years ago. Go to distrokid.com/VIP/Spectre today and grab yourself a 7% discount on the first year. Follow the link in the description below. Now back to the show.
Nothing smells ignorant like knocking a minimum wage job here in the States versus a guitar made by slave labor in a communist regime.
Nothing says I don't understand concepts like inflation and cost of living in the United States when you start complaining that I said that a $7.50 minimum wage isn't something you can live on and isn't fair, because it's fucking not. Have you seen how much rent is these days? Now, just to make sure I got my figures right, I actually did a little bit of homework here. And since 1978, the average CEO compensation has risen by 940% in the US, whereas the workers' compensation has risen 12%. Say that one more time, just in case you missed that. CEOs pay has gone up 940%, whereas the average worker's pay has risen 12%. And in the same time, the average rent in the USA has gone from $200 a month to $1,104. So Bob, I'm gonna put this to you. How the fuck is anybody supposed to live on $7.50 an hour in the US? You answer me that fucking question, pal. Because chances are the person working that minimum wage job is working their fucking ass off for that money, and they're getting fucked royally. And of course, this is all referencing back to my 5 reasons this guitar is better than a Gibson, because I checked online and it seems like the Gibson factory workers are making about $17 an hour. Now, if you guys are wondering what in the hell I'm talking about, check this next statement out, and then I'm gonna circle back on this.
17? I was told they only make $12 an hour at Gibson. Mandatory overtime and production quotas. Not sure if true, but what I have heard. Here's some less believable shit too, but who knows? Amazon seems to get away with breaking every law.
Hey Chris, I'm just talking about the Gibson thing here. I read online that it was $17 an hour. Now, when you break the math down, $17 an hour at 40 hours a week is definitely not enough to live on in a town like Nashville, because the average rent is $1,644. You figure that plus income tax isn't gonna leave much left over for gas and food, much less any kind of quality of life options like, oh, I don't know, maybe owning your own home or raising a family or anything else that is the quote unquote supposed American dream. It seems like most of the young people coming up these days can't afford any of that shit, and that is fucking bullshit, especially when the company is charging $3,000, $3,500, and $5,000 for a fucking guitar. It seems the people who are actually contributing the labor and making those guitars aren't reaping the benefits of their labor. The people at the top are, and that fucking sucks. If you choose to contribute to that kind of economic dystopia, that's certainly your business. I'm not going to tell you what to do and what not to do. But I do think that the workers at Gibson, if they're getting $17 an hour, might want to start thinking about organizing and demanding what they're actually worth. I can't confirm the $12 an hour thing. If anybody out there works for Gibson, please reach out to me. I'd love to ask you a few questions. You don't have to do it publicly or anything. We do it completely anonymously, but I would love to hear what's going on in that factory, what kind of work quotas you have to do, how many hours you're expected to work, and what your compensation is, and if it's any kind of quality of life. I'm dying to know what's going on for you guys who are out there building the guitars that we love playing.
All those JP riffs you played were done on Gibsons. Ha 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 ha!
Wow, that reminds me of JP22. I don't know the two-bit. Ha 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 ha! God, that was a legendary thread on the old Andy Steve forum. It was great. Same kind of attitude. Here's the thing, numbnuts. A lot of those Priest riffs were actually done on Strats.
Unbranded guitars will never be played by your heroes.
And you think that actually fucking means something? Oh, well, this guy played it on this guitar. Doesn't mean I have to go out and parrot that. Maybe find something a little bit different and a little fucking unique and do your own thing. I don't know. Sound like a plan? Sounds like a good idea to me. Won't be played by your heroes. Why should anybody give a flying fuck? Seriously.
It's all about branding. I feel like my playing is better with a more expensive guitar. It's all about legacy representation.
The fuck does that even mean, Troy? Legacy representation. I just don't fucking understand. I play better with an extensive guitar. Bull fucking shit you do. Guitar playing is made by your drive and you're willing to practice. The badge on the instrument does not fucking matter at all. Legacy representation. You actually expect anybody to take that statement seriously?
Hey Glenn, can you do more Harley Benton reviews in the future? They got so many great higher end options now, like the single cuts with Teslas and Go-To hardware, and some really cool Explorer type guitars with EMGs.
Interesting. Actually, let me grab one right now. Yeah, I just broke this out last week. This is the 7-string Amrock I unboxed last year. And I was using this on that Colin Richardson amp pack video I did there last week. This guitar's phenomenal. You know, I've had this for about a year. There's been like the frets aren't jumping out or anything like that. It looks gorgeous. It's got EMGs and it's a really simple neck through body construction. Absolutely phenomenal. Stays in tune great. Oh yeah, and locking tuners as well. And if it got lost or stolen or something like that, it wouldn't be such a hit that it would cost you years and years and years of savings if you bought a Gibson while working for Gibson.
Oh no, Glenn pissed off the Christians. Who will buy metal now? Who would have thought that they'd take fictional writings literally and think all metalheads are running with the devil and selling our souls for rock and roll? It's not like them to have trouble telling fact from fantasy. How strange.
How strange indeed.
Do you scream all the time in your daily life?
Just at stupid people.
I can't stand the horrible trend of YouTube guitarists sitting down while playing. Stand up and rock. It's hard to be inspired by somebody sitting on their ass. Sitting down is for practicing, not performing.
Wow, I can't think of a more backhanded compliment than that. Nothing says, wow, you really nailed the tone, so I can't find anything to complain about. Oh, you're sitting down. Let's pick on that. Now, for what you guys are referencing, it was the mix I did with the Colin Richardson plugin. Check this out. Yeah. Sorry, I'll make the guy stand up next time there, Rob. Hopefully that'll make you happy, but then again, I got a feeling you'll just find something else to whine about after that.
Glenn! I'm just starting on my recording journey, and I'd really like to get a sound close to that Neil Creamback you had in the Disgusting Cat. Celestion has IR packs, but I'm not sure if they're any good or even how to use them. Thanks for being awesome and helping out the little guys.
Hey, dude, thanks very much. I am more than happy to help out. That's why I started this show, was to help people out. Usually the bands coming in the studio who loved wasting their money. That was how this whole thing got started. But yes, some IRs of that Neo Creamback with the Disgusting Cab combo are coming up on a very special product coming out from Spectre Digital, hopefully sometime this year, hopefully in the first half of the year. We'll see how it goes. I can't tell you anything more about that, but it's going to be really cool. It's going to be a great way to get awesome guitar tones with minimal dicking around. And you're going to have many, 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 many tone options, so you're not going to sound like everybody else is doing these days, because we're going to have more IRs available than just vintage 30s.
I've had many clients come in and not understand the difference between mixing and mastering. I just stopped trying to make them understand and raised my prices.
Good for you, dude. Yeah, I did that video there a couple of weeks ago, and some people are saying, oh, you used this, you used AI for mastering. You complain about people replacing the drummer. And I'm like, yeah, we didn't replace the drummer. All the musicians were still on the fucking record. Do you not understand the fucking difference? Mastering is an EQ curve and setting the overall level so it will translate well onto many different systems. Mixing is when we balance all those instruments, and in the case of modern metal, where we timeline all the drums, replace them with somebody better playing the drums. Yay, isn't modern metal so inspiring?
Hey Glenn, what type of microphone would you recommend pairing with an SM57? I've been looking around for a new microphone that I can pair with my new SM57.
Well, I'm going to take a wild guess that you mean pair would be on a guitar cabinet. I think that's what you're aiming for. Maybe you should give me a bit more details to work with next time. Just kind of helps the show move along that much smoother. But I'm going to presume you are talking about pairing a microphone on a guitar cabinet. In this case, I would recommend the Lewitt 340 TT. You know, I've been very fortunate that I've got to hang out with Ulrich Wild, who did like White Zombie and Pantera and that kind of stuff, and Cameron Webb, who did a lot of Motorhead and whatnot. They were both students of Terry Date. And one of their signature moves is to do a 57 and some kind of tom mic, like a 421, on a guitar cabinet and blend it on a cheap mixer. I did a video on that a couple of years ago, and that turned out great. You can check that out, because like a little $50 Behringer mixer, you mix those two mics together with one of those, blend the tone on the board, and on your way to the computer, you're going to get something amazing. I like the Lewitt mic because it's 1/4 the price of the Sennheiser and every bit as good. It's a tom mic. It's a large diaphragm dynamic. It captures all the tone you could ever want for that style mic without that horrible spike that the modern 421s have. And they work really, really well with a 57 on a guitar cab. Seriously, check that video out. I'll put a link to it up here or something like that, or in the description. Check it out. And the great thing about the little mic is it's only like 99 bucks.
Helps when you're playing through a $3,000 Revv generator.
Oh, you're referencing the tones I was getting the 10S single cut. I did that on a shorts there a little while ago. how much does the brand matter, something like that. And yes, I was going through the Revv, obviously, but the important thing was I was going through that custom 2x12 with the EVH speakers that I mentioned earlier. That's mainly where the tone's going to be. Yeah, the Revv has some amazing options and whatnot, but there's no reason you couldn't get something cheaper, like say even the G20 and go into one of those custom cabs. That makes me kind of wonder, would you guys like to see possibly a custom branded SMG guitar cabinet down the road at some point? Like some 2x12s? What do you guys think? I'd love to hear from you about that. You tell me.
Hey Glenn, do you have so you're starting a new band playlist that I can share with up-and-comers. This and other videos you made on the subject should be mandatory education.
Charles, I really do appreciate the suggestion. You might have just come up with a very cool video idea. I'm going to investigate that in the very near future, and we'll see what we can come up. In the meantime, if you haven't checked out my band photography video, please do. It's some very good advice on helping you guys find your own look and avoiding some very well-worn cliches when it comes to metal.
Always entertaining, Glenn. Here's a comment for the algorithm. Get this band to 500,000 subscribers.
Thank you very much, Chris Dolan. I really do appreciate it. And I'll ask you guys who are watching the show, if you like what I do me a favor, hit the subscribe button. It really does go a long way to helping out the show. And in regards to that, I just got to say thank you to each and every one of you who have hit the subscribe button along the way. It's really helped out, and you guys have really made a dream come true for me. I had no idea the show would be going on like this 8 years after I started doing stuff, and I am eternally grateful to all you guys. Anyway, that's it for this episode. If you've got a comment or a question, I really do want to hear from you, so leave it down below, and if it's cool, I will try and put it on the show. And in the meantime, if you got a band, you want to get your music out to the world, make sure to head out today's sponsor, Distrokid, because they're freaking amazing, and they let you hang on to your money. And if you make money on Distrokid, just remember, if you're not in the United States, you have to fill out your proper tax form. That way they don't have to withhold 30% by law. All you gotta do is the right paperwork. Anyway, thanks again for watching. I'll see you guys next time.